Hey, everybody. You're listening to Page Screen and Beyond podcast number 12 for September 21st, 2019. This week we discuss J.J. Abrams' Spider-Man, Power Rangers encounter your favorite teenage turtles, Seis Manos is a 1970s Mexican zombie anime, Suicide Squad cast, Terminator Resistance, and Apex Legends reveals a new character named Crypto.
Congratulations on not blaming yourself.
Yeah.
I know you really dig the Apple products, but I worked for Apple, so I don't fucking like them.
Yeah.
Well, I
What-
worked in tech support for Apple.
What don't you like about Apple? Like, what's your biggest gripe about Apple?
My only experiences with Apple are them breaking because I work in tech support and I've
Yeah.
never owned an Apple product.
Ah.
So I'm completely biased, 100%.
So you've only literally dealt with them as broken products.
Right.
Okay. And
So,
you haven't seen that from like Huawei phones or Samsung or whatever phones?
they break. I mean, everything breaks, but
Yeah.
I mean, I spent a year at that job with rich people calling in.
With their new
iPhones.
iPhones.
And it's like, I can't even afford this, and I'm supposed to tell you to restart your fucking phone. Are you kidding me? Restart your phone. It'll fix it almost every time.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Like the old people using the new technology, I would definitely have a gripe with because in tech support, you're dealing with like the reason you're dealing with so many old people is because young people know how to fix their shit.
Right.
They
Yeah.
can order shit online, get it here, and fix it them damn selves. And old people are like, how do I get my pictures onto the computer?
Dude, and the amount of stupid you run into working in tech support. There's somebody that called in and was wondering why their iPad wasn't working. And they were like, I ran it through the dishwasher to clean it, and now it's not working.
No.
Fucking idiots. Or people that were like, yeah, I had my iPhone, I've had it for like 4 hours and now it won't turn on. And it's like, when was the last time you charged it? And they're like, you gotta charge these things? Yeah. That's the type of shit that happens.
That's why you don't work in customer service or
God.
tech support, because then you deal with nothing but idiots. I'm sorry you had that experience.
Yeah, that's
I
some
have-
wild shit.
Yeah, that's some wild shit. I'm not gonna lie, but I've just like I've had nothing but good experiences with Apple, except when like you drop it and you break it, but that's like your own damn fault.
Well, also, Apple isn't open source.
That is also one thing that bothers me. I would like there to be like some real modding capabilities with the software with iOS, because like there's one channel that does it, Everything Apple Pro, and he actually does a really good job with it, where he can show you like what the like jailbreaked iPhones or any kind of like jailbroken iPhone or phone in general would look like with these different softwares and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
How to break
like-
the phone so you can actually use it the way you want to.
Yeah, I agree with
Such
that.
a
Where
wild
like
concept.
they do like suck you into their ecosystem.
They do.
So-
and it's brilliant marketing, and they're on top of the world because of it. But
Yep. But I understand where your frustration
Yeah.
lies.
my friend Mario told me one time. He
Not the
said,
Mario.
using Linux is like using barber shop razor.
Oh,
Like,
sure.
you can do anything you want. You can get real close to the skin, but if you fuck up, you're really gonna fuck up.
Yeah.
Using Windows is like using just the standard razor, and using Apple is like using a spoon. You can't do anything unless they allow you to do that something.
Exactly. Unless you force it, you like break the shit.
Yep.
With force. Yeah.
If you sharpen the spoon, you'll be able to shave your face.
Yeah. Right. But it's a lot of work between that and a clean face.
Yep.
No, I get that. They've definitely hollowed out their own crevasse.
They're doing well. I mean, marketing is on point. everybody seems to love them. I'm just not part
No.
of everybody, but that's kind of my standard standpoint. On
I agree. Yeah, there's always going to be like the dichotomy of corporations. Like, oh, I think this one's better. I think Xbox is better than PlayStation.
And
No,
why would you take away?
Switch is better. No, they're all good as long as they're getting better. That's kind of what I think. I just
you know, I would argue that they're not. They took away headphone ports because why? Because they can. Because then they can sell more accessories to their stuff.
I agree.
It's brilliant marketing, but it's just shitty.
But I think what it was, I think, was it was a power move to get people to buy the AirPods.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was
brilliant
that's
marketing.
really what it was.
A shitty thing to do.
I know. I completely agree. Yeah, but I know that like they're trying to like they are at the top, and what they're trying to do is set like people think they need to set standards. They like even though Apple usually comes late to the party, like with this 3-camera bullshit and anything like that, like they're usually late to the party, but they set like a reasonable quality. And I think what they want to do with the headphone jack specifically is they know that everything's kind of moving to wireless. So they want to kind of put that thing as the thing that they're doing ahead of the time rather than playing catch up and then having to work around that old technology, because with a headphone jack removed, you can actually fit more processors and more battery space, and
it doesn't take up that much space. They just want to make their phones skinnier. They want to make it skinnier than the jack is basically where they're at. I don't know. It doesn't take up that much space. I think they just do it because they fucking can. Because nobody's going to not buy the iPhone because it doesn't have a jack.
That is also very valid.
They're going to buy the adapter so they can plug their headphones in once their wireless ones die, which is my big problem with not having one. Is I hate when my headphones die.
And you could say too that like this is a way of like who are you really cutting out in this situation? Basically, anyone that has old headphones like this.
Me, multiple pairs, only headphones I use. I only use plug-in headphones because I don't like when my headphones die, and it happens. I don't care how long they make headphones last, they fucking die eventually, and then I have to plug them in and wait to continue listening to whatever I was listening to. Focus.
Well, I think it goes back into like the wireless. Like I know that they had the wireless charging for the phone in plan or being planned. So basically, what I think.
Are they going to get rid of the actual charging port and make it only wireless charging?
No, they can't. They're not even getting.
It's on the way, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
I bet.
Yo, they haven't even switched this year from Lightning to USB-C. So they have to do USB-C before they go full wireless. And I think they're only going to go full wireless when USB-C becomes really obsolete and you can do transferring through only wireless.
Samsung's had wireless charging since like the Galaxy 4.
Oh yeah, I know.
This one can do it. I have a little pad
Yeah.
that I can set it on.
Yeah. What I wished that they had, I mean, this was a pipe dream of mine, but what I wish that they would have done was with the Mac Mini or like a laptop, if you place your phone on it, it would have like a spot on it that you could just wireless charge. Yeah. So where like your wireless charger is your computer.
That makes sense. That would be a cool thing to add.
And that way you don't have to worry about like
hauling around
another wireless charging pad and having to plug it in different places where it's just like that's your charging spot.
I would say that's a very good idea.
And then you can also do the like and then you can also do all the transfers and all that stuff like with the Apple Watch. Like it doesn't have a wireless per se, but it's like a close connection wireless. So like the charging puck like basically fits around this little like circle nub, and that's how it does charging and transfer of information, like updating shit. So it's possible, but I think it's still like probably another 5 to 6 years out before they actually like. If they're gonna follow their Apple way of like being late to the party, those types of ideas are gonna be like probably another 5 or 6 years out.
So only like 8 more phones then.
Yeah, right.
And by the time that hits, it'll only be like $2,500 for a phone.
Yeah.
No big deal.
I mean, they did bring the price down of these ones, the ones they just released, the iPhone 11 and 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max.
I wouldn't know. I'm not even getting a new phone from here.
I
I don't
know.
even know which one this is. Which Galaxy this is. I have no idea.
Is it the Galaxy 2?
No.
Yeah,
It's 8.
8. Okay. That's not bad.
It does everything I need it to.
That's what my brother-in-law has, I think. Or he just upgraded from the 8 to the 10. Galaxy Note 10. Yeah, something like that. Whatever. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Page Screen and Beyond, your home of a little bit of news, a little bit of perspective, and a whole lot of banter. Yeah. Indeed. So this week we got the Power Rangers getting their own comic book in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic book crossover. So the Power Rangers find their way into New York, and it seems that the Green Ranger has teamed up with our favorite baddie, Mr. Shredder. And has joined up with the Foot Clan. So the Rangers have made their way into New York and happened upon our favorite turtles. So
I think that's safe to say that they're my favorite turtles.
yeah, I think they're everyone's favorite turtles.
I would like more.
Yeah, no, unless you count.
Would not. Turtle. No.
Yeah, no.
The only other turtle I can think of is like Bowser, and fuck that guy.
Bowser, or oh, I was gonna say the turtle from Neverending Story, but I forget his name.
Yeah, I don't know his name either, and I also have not seen that in
The Truth Tortoise from Rick and Morty. Don't stare into his eyes, Morty. No, this looks like fun though. Super colorful. The Power Rangers are in their old school 90s garb.
Oh, love Mighty Morphin.
Yeah. You see the sword flute in the Green Ranger, and your turtles have white eyes, all white eyes, and I really like that. Like, I've always been a fan of that type of just illustration style with them. It just works so well.
Yeah, it artistically is super beautiful, but I can't wait for like narrative wise, because I mean, you were saying this is the Power Rangers comic book, so
yeah, so they are
likely having the upper hand.
They are the main characters in
Right,
this, so you're gonna be rooting for them, and like,
but it's gonna be a fun brawl.
It's gonna be fun. Obviously, we're gonna have some fight scenes between the Power Rangers and the Foot Clan, and Shredder, I'm sure. But do you think that we're gonna have a fight scene between the Turtles and the Rangers?
Oh, for sure.
Who's gonna win, though? Like,
unfortunately for the Turtles, the Rangers.
I mean, the Rangers, yeah, but this isn't like the new Rangers. This is old school Rangers, where it's like, were their suits like magic, or was it still alien technology?
I believe alien technology has always been the gimmick.
Yeah. But
well, that was what I was.
I don't know. I'm just seeing a lot of weapons.
If Donatello is smart enough to be able to take out their suits, they're hand to hand fucked.
Sure. And I could see
that's if Donatello can take out their suits before. I mean,
I could.
The Rangers are no slouches.
I mean, but is Donatello like their only weakness. I guess like could Raphael like beat the shit out of him and like
I would say
Leonardo
I
cut
mean,
some
they're
people
both
up?
masters. Both teams are masters of martial arts.
Yeah,
Like top of their class, masters of
like
martial arts.
legendary masters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't.
So
I mean, they're gonna be
they're-
semi on par with that.
they're gonna be matched hand to hand for sure.
Well,
But,
it
like-
comes down to who has better teamwork, maybe.
Oh yeah,
Because I think
good
that
point.
the turtles like have enough combat savvy in them to be able to pick the Rangers off one by one.
That's possible. It'd be an interesting way to.
Yeah, that would really be the only way that they would like. I could see them being super effective, because once the Power Rangers are together and they're able to like go back to back basically, and like team up, they're usually pretty unstoppable.
Right, when they work as one solid entity.
Yeah,
But I mean,
That's
same
like their
could
whole
maybe
thing.
be said about the turtles.
yeah, I agree. That was kind of the whole deal with the movies, was that they like had to learn to work together and not fight amongst each other type shit. So yeah, I don't know.
But
It should
either
be a
way,
fun
everyone's
little.
coming for Shredder.
Yeah, everyone's coming for
And
Shredder.
that is a whole lot of mass.
Now, do
movement.
you think that the Green Ranger's gonna like see the error of his ways and like come over and fight with them at the end type thing and use his trusty flute?
I mean, it would be interesting if the final, climax was the Rangers and the Turtles against Tommy and Shredder.
That would be cool. And where it's just
maybe,
like,
maybe Tommy doesn't switch by the end of it.
yeah, and like
Because
they just brawl it out.
everyone against Shredder is kind of like ganging up on an old man.
Yeah,
You know
that's a
what I
good
mean?
point. Yeah, I mean the Turtles had a little bit of trouble, but that was because they weren't working as a team, and the whole idea of them was like to work as a team to defeat Shredder. So
Throw Rangers on top of
you
that.
throw
Right.
Rangers on top of it, they got like Megazords and fucking weapons of all different types, and
So yeah,
yeah.
having the Green Ranger to balance that out,
yeah,
and that'll be a fun climax.
should be interesting. It comes out in December, with writer Ryan Parrott, illustrator Simone DeMio, and CA Dan Mora.
Do you think there will be a
Creative
giant
assistant.
Shredder?
A robot Shredder, a Megazord Shredder.
Just
Mutant beefed up.
it's very
Interesting.
Like every episode of Power
Yeah.
Rangers is very similar in that form, where it's
Make
like
my
little
monster
guy
grow.
and little guy, and then they fuck that dude up, and then he's like, "Well, I'm gonna get giant now," and then
Oh,
they're like,
that
"Oh,
is-
shit."
sure.
If we have a Megazord sized Shredder,
Yeah.
badass.
I'm about it.
I'd be down.
I'd be down to see it. I'd pay good money for that. I'd pay good money for that. That sounds like a actual like thrilling adventure. So next we got
Oh man, going from thrilling to kind of heartbreaking. We have to have spoilers for this next. topic.
spoiler alert for
J.J. Abrams' mystery box. He got his hands on Marvel Comics Spider-Man.
a J.J. Abrams Spider-Man.
Yes. And
I thought he
he's-
only made movies.
Well, he is quite the writer.
I guess so, yeah.
Working with his son Henry Abrams, they're doing a 5-issue run featuring a new villain whose name made me audibly laugh once I read it out loud. Cadaverous. I had to reread it a couple times.
Cadaverous. Not cadaveroso, not cadaver.
Cadaverific.
Cadaver. Is it, so he's a zombie, I assume, of some kind.
Yeah, a big monstrous looking guy.
Monstrous looking. Let's look him up. Cadaverous.
So, going with kind of a taboo trope in Spider-Man comics, in the first issue, kills off Mary Jane.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
he needs her.
So
Kills Mary Jane and takes his hand.
Well, he didn't.
A hand.
Yeah.
he takes
well,
a hand,
Yeah.
not all hands.
I feel
just
like it
a
would be
hand.
tough to be Spider-Man with one hand.
He does a lot of web antics.
How does he swing away from places? Just do one hand.
One hand.
Oh man, that's
And
gonna
then-
be tough.
Well,
And
like,
then he just has to like
okay,
swing around.
we have to be
facing the wrong
specific
way.
though. Where does his hand get taken off? Is it like at the wrist, or is it at like the forearm, or is it at the elbow?
From what I saw, it looked like it was about wrist.
About wrist.
Yeah.
Okay. So he could still like punch him with his stub, I guess.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, grab onto the web with the hook hand. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, it knocks him off his ass.
Yeah,
and
but
Yeah.
how
takes
is
him
he
out of the
going
game.
to
Yeah.
use his webs with a hook hand?
Swing or shoot it out with one, and then reach and
Snag
grab
it
with the other.
No, I think what you can do is actually, you could probably make a prosthetic that just like when you extend your arm, it
the
just
web.
shoots web,
Yeah.
and then it just automatically like locks onto it.
I guess realistically, if we're talking about how his webs work, they never really make that much
Yeah.
sense.
They tried to explain it in what was the middle Spider-Man?
Amazing Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man, where they like actually had him like make it.
Right, engineering rather than the Tobey Maguire having it be biology.
Yeah.
And so at home, our Peter Parker, who has just lost MJ, is father to a young Ben Parker, who,
Okay.
after the fallout of having his ass handed to him and losing the love of his life, becomes a bit of a absentee, callous father. And you get young Ben Parker going through a lot of the similar tropes of young Peter Parker in his high school days.
Yeah.
And by the end of this first of 5 issues, Aunt May gives young Ben Parker a spider suit. So I think that this
So that
J.J.
means
Abrams
yeah.
run of Spider-Man is going to be focusing more on Ben Parker Spider-Man.
So that means that Peter Parker's genetics were passed down to his son.
It would appear.
The spider sense, the climbing walls, all that stuff. So interesting. So it's not like he's like training a new Batman, basically. It's like you are Spider son.
Yeah, and it's interesting that it's like, how long is it going to take for him to be able to learn and use these abilities? Is he
Sure.
going to be a quicker study or a slow learner?
Yeah. That's an interesting question because, yeah, like Peter Parker got his powers when he was already like ending high school. So he had all of this other shit. And what if there's like different things that happen through puberty? Like, because of being born with it, it could, like, would it be different to him? Would it have different effects than being just bitten by the spider? I don't know.
I like to think
I'm
more
just
about like, what if he
speculating.
just has spider abilities just as a baby? How
Ooh, yeah.
impossible would it be to like take care of that baby that's just like crawling up the walls like a
Oh
demon
my god.
child?
Every time you go to swoop him up, his spider sense kicks in and he dodges you.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to bed yet. Spidey sense is just like,
He's-
no.
Like a little jumping spider just
Oh, man. The nightmare for any daycare.
just creates like a little web for himself in the corner and just takes a nap.
A little hammock.
Yep. That'd be a fun childhood. You kidding me?
That would be a fun childhood. It wouldn't be a fun parenting.
Parenting, yeah, no,
Screw
not-
that.
Yeah. Fuck.
I
You're
would
a single.
love to have a Spider-Man child once it's like
The love of
12. I could start with 12.
Also, the
But
love of your life
before
is
that.
dead, and you're a single parent now. So
How do you feel about a cynical, like, defeatist Peter Parker with his, like, kid having to pick up the slack? I mean, is he gonna be
I think it's-
Spider-Man? Is he gonna be Spider-Boy? Is it
I
gonna
think
be
it's an
something-
old man Logan type situation
Mhm.
where he knows he has to like train this little one to be the next like person who takes the mantle.
So, he was a baby when MJ got killed.
Yes.
That's kind of important.
Yeah.
to know what age and if he's super shook by that or if he was
Yeah.
just. It looks like
Yeah,
it says it
12 years?
flashes 12.
Flashes forward by 12
Flashes
years.
forward
Peter
12
and
years.
MJ's son, Ben Parker, is in high school. Peter isn't Spider-Man anymore and isn't there for his son. Instead, he's focusing on his career as a photojournalist, while Aunt May looks after Ben. So yeah. And then
What
Cadaverous.
makes him Spider-Man? Just, I mean, he doesn't have to go through the trials. What brings him to want to even be Spider-Man? Just that he has the powers?
Well, he's also, like I said, he goes through a similar Peter arc of being a little underdog, like kind of awkward kid.
But how
Yeah,
could
but this
I
whole time
really-
he could beat the shit out of everyone.
Right, exactly. He's had the powers the whole time.
Well, has he?
I would
I assume since birth.
How else is he getting it? Is Peter
A
gonna
triggering of puberty? I mean, that's something we brought up. Is
it's
like,
possible.
does he develop his powers once he becomes more of age?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough thing. They have to choose the right way to do it because if he always has the powers, he can't really be
that
Spider-Man.
underdog, right?
He can't be just the
Like Spider-Man becomes Spider-Man because he loses Uncle Ben, more or less.
yeah, and
Great power, great responsibility.
Yeah.
right, and you don't really have that here because he was a
Like
baby.
yeah, Mary Jane dies,
yeah,
but
but he doesn't
at
know Mary
birth,
Jane.
yeah, exactly. There's no like a serious emotional connection.
I
There
know
could be
he's neglected by Peter, which seems weird. I
well,
don't know.
maybe that'll be like his Death of Uncle Ben, where it's like he grows up, gets into high school, and is
Oh, you
like,
think they're
"You were
killing Peter?
you were never there for me,"
I
blah blah
think
blah
it's-
blah, and then they might
I
at
would
the
be
end.
real surprised if they didn't kill Peter.
Yeah,
With how dark it started, why would they not kill Peter?
yeah, for real.
That would be the best way to do it. I don't know. It's only you said 5 issues, right?
Yeah,
It's a tough story to tell. And also,
Yeah.
are you going to continue with the story further on? I know it's always a possibility, but
Right. If this
But if you-
Spider Kid goes well,
yeah.
if you
By
end
from
with
the image I saw, I think he's a little ginger Spider Kid too.
Little Ginger.
oh well, then I guess he does have the trials and tribulations.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get
Uh,
all the hate.
Well, I don't know.
And is this out already, or when?
First issue is
First issue is out. Okay, cool.
I would be surprised if they didn't kill Peter Parker. If they're gonna kill MJ first, it's such a big blow. You got to have a bigger blow.
Right.
And there's only one. Well, oh man.
Oh, don't! No, God, no! Please, no!
It might be though. It's probably going to be, but it won't. I hope it won't be anything like she gets robbed and like it's a robbery gone wrong or something. I think it'll be like she gets cancer or something, and like
I think it's
on her
gonna be
deathbed is like
this
with
new
great
big
power.
bad is just gonna come and fuck her up.
Oh,
Just real bad.
Cadaverous.
Cadaver. Yeah, I can't
Still
remember the name. I
laughable
just.
name.
It's so tough for me to say it. I don't even
Yeah,
want to.
it's such a weird one.
What did I?
But
do
I
we
mean,
know
after-
his deal. What the?
I was gonna say after whooping on Peter, he kind of I imagine
You
would
could
just be
even
going
call him
unopposed.
Cadavo.
Is he
Like
just a-
Cadavo is better. They spent
Cadavo's
like
a low
30
light.
seconds in that workshop trying to come up with a new name for that guy.
Is he just like is he just a big zombie dude? Like what does he have
Let me-
specific powers?
Cadaverous or Cadaveros?
Maybe he's like a
Uh,
necromancer
her?
or something.
He looks like a xenomorph, but with robot. He actually looks like a hunter from Halo a little bit, where it's like he's got the meat underneath, but then armor plating, basically.
And some good old stabby fingers.
What is
Yeah.
that meat underneath though?
It's biological material, I assume.
And
It's
I
just
mean,
carnage in him.
Yeah, basically.
Spider-Man does have a lot of great rogues gallery villains, so it's interesting to see what this new young Spider-Man may have to deal with.
Looks like he's a huge character.
I don't know if that's a realistic depiction. He doesn't look that big in this one.
I know. He
We're
looks
just looking at
he looks
pictures
kind of
here.
like he looks like a Venom size, like big but not overly menacing. In this old picture though, he's like a fucking titan. Yeah.
I'm very interested.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I'm.
This is a cool little.
He's a
Elf
cool looking
Wolf.
character, especially like, if this is what he's gonna look like, I'm about it actually.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways that they can do it right, but there's so many ways they can do it wrong.
Yeah.
I know it's all opinion.
The whole
but
father son dynamic is always a tough one to like make unique and not just like, hey, why didn't you play catch with me as a kid?
yeah,
and
yeah,
a little bit of that, and
pretty
yeah,
tropey. I honestly, after this, they could take Peter Parker out of it almost completely, and it might be a better story.
and just be Ben Parker now. Yeah, and then it's I could see that.
Like they can throw references to him, and he can just be like fuck my dad, he's not around.
Yeah, it's me now.
Yeah.
All right, so next we got Suicide Squad 2 cast. We got some heavy hitters here.
A lot of names.
Taika Waititi, of course. Nathan Fillion. This is now back again. James Gunn's Suicide Squad 2. There was a lot of hubbub about him.
I think it's the Suicide Squad. I think
It's
a
just
reboot,
the
not a-
Suicide
yeah,
Squad?
I think it's a.
Well, it says Suicide Squad 2 on the IMDb, I believe.
I
But
wonder
it's
if this
called.
transpires after
but it-
the events.
I think it does. I think it is 2.
Because I mean, you have returning Jai Courtney and Margot Robbie.
Yep. Viola Davis.
Right.
Um,
So I mean, are they just hitting the reset button, or is it an actual legitimate sequel? And
I think
if
it's a
that's the
legitimate
case-
sequel, but they're not calling it Suicide Squad 2. They're just gonna call it Suicide Squad
Okay.
Who knows?
as like a singular like it's the Suicide Squad.
Mhm.
You know what it is. We don't need to call it number 2. Like
Isn't it kind of strange? Did the first Suicide Squad wasn't received all that well, was it?
it wasn't.
No.
And then they're just gonna double down and do Suicide Squad again.
I mean,
2021.
there were elements of it that were
I
awesome,
didn't-
and
I
I
didn't
think
hate it.
that's what they're trying to do.
So,
is
yeah.
pluck all of the worthwhile
Well-
elements out of it and
They got
rebrand it with that.
the
James Gunn
original.
flair.
Yeah, with the original, it was. I don't even remember who the director was. Of the first one.
Yeah, I'm unsure.
Wait, that's right there.
What's the chance we get Jared Leto?
Hell to Pay? That's a good. Oh, duh. Jesus. David Ayer. Writer David Ayer. Yeah. So writer and director was
Anyways,
David
what
Ayer.
was your question?
So James Gunn, I have faith in James Gunn. I have faith in James Gunn. He's done good with Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm pretty sure he knows what he's doing and knows how to write like a funny but yet serious narrative. And taking it to this extent, I think he's actually wanted to do something with a little bit more like gore and blood and darker elements
I
rather
would
than.
imagine this is going to be PG-13. The new one.
I don't think it is. I think it's going to be R.
I wouldn't be surprised either way if I'm being blunt. I mean, he can. After Venom, we proved that we can kind of neuter, for lack of a better term, just about any R-rated property if need be. But I mean, it could also be such an ancillary story that you can get away with it being R.
I think
I would be really surprised if they did R. This one wasn't received. The first one wasn't received all that well. They're gonna
because it
want
was
as many
PG-13.
people- No, I don't think that's.
I think
what
it's
it
part
was.
of it. I think if they would have went R and went full like, let's say fuck all the time and show some blood, but they couldn't because it was like they were trying to market it to like 13, between like 12 to 18-year-olds first, and then everyone else was ancillary.
Yeah, when are
So-
they gonna realize us 30-year-olds are the real market?
We
for these
are the
comic
real
books?
market. Stop trying to market to children. You're never gonna like. You're always gonna have to keep updating.
or you're just gonna have to make a Fortnite movie.
Oh my god, no.
Don't speak
You
it
know
into
it's
the
gonna
ether.
happen. It's gonna happen eventually.
I mean, they already made the Emoji Movie, so anything is possible at this point.
Pops movie is right around the corner.
I
Funko
know.
Pops.
I know. I do still want to see this movie though. Jojo the Rabbit or Jojo Rabbit with Taika Waititi as Hitler.
Hmm.
I keep seeing that it's got rave reviews.
Yeah, rave
so
reviews on the Hitler comedy still
Yeah.
kind of makes me feel yucky.
I know, but I have a feeling that it's like it's lighthearted in a way where it. I think the Hitler trope is also kind of run itself dry at this point of him being like the bad guy. So having a movie that like makes you like him is that like emotional turmoil that you want in a movie where you're like you don't want to like the guy but you do, and you understand him but you don't want to because you know that he is who he is.
Humanizing Hitler sounds
Yeah.
like the worst idea in human history.
That should just be the name of like this decade.
Fuck Hitler.
Fuck Hitler. He killed a lot of people. But also, we wouldn't have NASA if it weren't for Hitler. So
How many people do you think he actually killed himself?
himself, I probably no more than like 20. He was in World War One, as far as I know. So he probably killed a good number of people then. But as far as like being Hitler and killing people, he probably just ordered people to do it.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He
Yeah.
probably didn't kill that many people himself, but
I mean,
I'm not saying he's not a bad guy.
once he had a following, I think it was one of those things where he's like, I don't like that guy,
Well,
and we got people to take care of him.
yeah, he's super led by fear.
I mean, he probably killed at least 2 or 3 people, and then himself.
What if he just didn't kill anybody? What if his kill count is 1 and it was just himself?
Jesus Christ. And he was just in his bunkers just painting while everything's going on.
I don't know. Hitler's just weird.
Hitler's a weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
He's a great trope. A great, like, if there's anyone to hate besides, like, the devil, it's, like, Hitler, and then Mao, and then Stalin. But the thing is, Mao and Stalin both have higher kill counts than Hitler. Like, by a lot.
Have you seen the things that Satanists have been doing? There's a documentary out on Netflix about Satanists and how they came to be. Stuff like that.
No, but I did start watching that Family Gemstones.
I haven't seen that.
It's fucking great, actually. I would highly suggest it. It looks weird from the trailers with like Danny McBride and what's his nuts from the Office, Workaholics. I forget his name off the top of my head. And then Adam Devine. Yes. And then John Goodman as the dad. And then I don't know who the sister is. I don't recognize her from anything off the top of my head. But that show goes farther than you think it does. And it's on HBO. And there's just like cocaine and death and twists and turns. And it's funny throughout the whole thing. So I would highly suggest watching that. I think there's only 5 episodes out right now. And then the 6th one premieres Sunday, so tomorrow. So yeah, every Sunday. But I'd suggest it. It's really funny. So yeah, let's run through. Sorry, we got really distracted. Okay.
we went off.
So real quick, yeah. So we got David Dashelman, John Cena, Jai Courtney, Joaquin Cosio, Nathan Fillion, Joel Kinnaman, Mei Ling Eng, Flula Borg, Sean Gunn, which we all know from Guardians of the Galaxy as the guy who took up the mantle of the Mohawk with the whistling arrow. That's all I know how to say. Yeah.
There we go.
Yep. I know that just sounded
That's
like a
quite
jumble of
sentence
words.
to put together.
I know that just sounded like a jumble of nonsense to some of you, but if you,
That guy.
if
It
you
makes
get
sense-
it, you
makes
get
sense.
it.
I
Yeah.
really can't think of his name right now because of that description you just gave. My mind went blank.
Yeah. Who else we got? Juan Diego Ato, Storm Reed, Pete Davidson. That one comes out of nowhere. I haven't seen him in a bunch of in really any type of shows besides Saturday Night Live. So I'm excited to see him take on a role in something like this. But I don't know who's he gonna be?
Well, this is such a large list. How many characters are, main characters, and
Yeah.
they're just gonna be quick little reference. Cameos.
Sure, yeah. Well, I would hope that he's actually a part of it, rather than just being a side character.
Yeah, but look at this list. I mean,
You got
if
Taika
you're gonna
Waititi.
try and
Yeah.
actually make these guys all matter, the movie's gonna fucking suck
I know.
because that's too many people.
Well,
And it's Suicide Squad, so a couple are gonna be fodder.
yeah, for sure. At least 4 of them are gonna die, but you got to think about this in splitting it up into 2 groups, as one of the military and then the squad, basically, and then there's gonna be people who die on both sides. So yeah, that's kind of the way I look at it. So any number of these people could just die, but we also got Taika Waititi, Alicia Braga, Steve Agee, Tanashi Kajisi.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't recognize that name. Daniela Melchior, Peter Capaldi, Julio Ruiz, Jennifer Holland, Viola Davis, Idris Elba, and of course Margot Robbie, and then Michael Rooker. Only some of these.
Stacked lineup.
Yeah, it's a stacked lineup. And James Gunn did say to not get attached to all of these characters. So,
Right.
I'm attached to none of them.
yep. The only thing I'm gonna say is I think Nathan Fillion might be the first to die. Either the first or the last to die. We'll see. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, who knows? Although, Viola Davis is Amanda Waller, correct?
I believe so. Yes.
So, then this can't be a sequel, right?
She didn't die at the end, did she?
Didn't she? I'm pretty sure Deadshot killed her.
I'd have to rewatch the movie.
Yeah, so I have no idea. I'm not sure.
Man, that towards the end of that movie, my brain just goes, "Mwah, no remember.
Yeah, and they put a lot into it to try and make the characters that kind of didn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, and you didn't.
And all of a sudden,
Ah,
Jared
yeah.
Leto is the Joker, and he's going.
Yeah.
So you don't expect to see the Joker coming back for
I-
the Suicide Squad.
Do not want to see any Joker.
Oh.
If I see his face,
He's like out, done, over.
I didn't hate that joke.
I will walk. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't hate him. I just thought he was trying too hard. It's like I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. You know?
I get how you can see. It's a definite different take, but that's
yeah,
necessary to
I
try and
agree.
fill those roles,
I agree.
those shoes.
Oh
in that
God,
role.
yeah. Right after Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's just
Yeah.
like I would love to be an actor. If they told me that was the role that would get me into it, I'd probably be like, I'm not going to be an actor then.
Yep.
I'm not doing it.
But we are gonna get a King Shark in this Suicide Squad,
Yes, that's all that
and
really
that's
matters.
all that I really want, because I want to see some head biting. Now this will be rated R, I assume. So we're gonna see some shit.
I don't know. I think it's going to be PG-13. Does it say on the IMDb? Do they have a rating?
No rating yet. No.
Do you think Margot Robbie is going to take up a lot of the screen time?
Yep.
I
this
think
go
she
around?
will. I think this is basically gonna be a Margot Robbie.
Despite the fact that we already have Birds of Prey coming?
Yes. Yep. 100%. I think she's gonna be like the main character that they follow.
For sure.
So
Man, when you have that many character or cast,
Yeah.
like highlighted names,
I think
it's really unfortunate that you don't have a lot of time for anybody.
I could even see us like ending with like 2 or 3 characters left out of this whole list, like, and everyone else dying. You know what I mean?
Jai Courtney's gonna make it.
I think
'cause we
Sean
need
Gunn's
Captain,
gonna live.
Captain
Sean
Boomerang.
Gunn, Taika Waititi, and Margot
I
Robbie.
think Sean Gunn's gonna live.
Everyone else can die.
Oh, Captain Boomerang.
He was an entertaining character, but I could see him getting
Nah.
taken out in some way.
No one's safe.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Right. So next, real quick, we'll talk about Apex Legends, just because it's real short. They released a trailer for a new character named Crypto. It's a little backstory, animatic. It's
Real pretty.
It's a pretty looking animation. It's really choppy animation, but with the like on-screen stuff, it's super smooth and like futuristic, and there's it's almost holographic in a way. So I really like that contrast of like you got the background where it's really like faded out almost. There's not a lot of detail. It's just like it's like an old anime basically.
It's telling you where to look.
Yeah. And then the characters themselves are really like clean, bold lines, like, and they're really like the animation is choppy. It's like the Enter the Spider-Verse, where it's kind of got that like delayed movement to it, which I like. And then the contrast of the screen where it's all smooth. Like having both of those, it just makes it that much more of a visually pleasing thing to look at. But the story itself is about Crypto, who's a hacker dude who finds basically a way to predict the outcome of the games in Apex Legends. And then, of course, he hacked into the wrong place, and now people are after him, and they've kidnapped his sister, and they're trying to kill him now. So it shows him using some sort of like EMP grenade type deal to take out a drone, and then he uses his own drone as a way to like see his path or see the enemy. And I think that what they're obviously hinting at like your abilities as that character. So
yeah, I don't feel like they gave a lot of information with that. I'm not sure how it's going to work.
It's very quick. We're obviously going to see more of it, soon.
Yeah, they're going to have to give a breakdown at some point.
They will.
Doing.
I know they're going to do some sort of new season update. So with this last season, they introduced that character with like the electric fence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't remember the name. I haven't played in a long time.
Yeah. I played her once, and she's a pretty cool character. The other ability she has is she puts down like a tripod thing that it starts spinning up, and then it'll block any of like the incoming like missiles from the Bangalore character, and it'll just like explode them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fence like slows people down and like takes away their shields and shit when they walk through it. So one thing I like about Apex is each character has their own like unique skill set and like abilities, and it's not like one character is close to another. Like they're similar in ways, but like each one has their own unique special ability that's extremely useful. And having the choice to pick like a different skill set for like each character, and having like a team up and having each person have like their own useful abilities to work together to win the game.
Versatile gameplay types.
Yeah, very versatile.
Yeah, and it depends on how you want to play. I literally only played as Lifeline because I didn't want to be in the middle of a battle worrying about that extra thing where, what am I supposed to do? Should I use my special attack thing right now? And with Lifeline, you don't worry about it. When you're away from everybody, after everything, the battle's over, you can heal people or have a care package.
Yeah.
And I like that better because then it's just like, what are we doing right now? Well, we're gonna post up. Well, I'll drop a care package.
So yeah, I have a feeling it's something like Mirage, like a similar character to Mirage, where he's got like a hologram. You know, it's more technology based, or like, I don't know. It'll be interesting, but it looks like he's got his own like grenade type, which is cool.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get how.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to play it. You have to play it obviously to really get it. It's all speculation at this point, but the backstory looks cool, and I know that they're gonna be coming out with a campaign mode or a small campaign mode for the game.
See, that entices me.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a big narrative guy, so getting these little pockets and pouches of information doesn't really entice me as much to play the game.
Yeah.
So it's like it's cool that you have all of these, like we're talking about, different gameplay mechanics that makes the game itself fun.
Yeah.
It's promising to see adding a layer of narrative that makes you invested and want to get into these, stories.
Exactly. I liked the Overwatch way they did things, where they had like a really good animation that defines their backstory, and then you have a campaign, but it's like a limited campaign. So yeah, I like that. It's a fun game. If you haven't played Apex yet, you need to get on it because it's fun. And I just like the way that they throw you into games where it's like it's just teams of 3. And yeah, I just like a limited team.
And the biggest selling point is that you literally don't have to pay any money for it.
Yeah,
it's a free game.
It's a free game.
If it sounds any way interesting at all, go play it.
Yeah,
you don't have to pay anything to play it.
Yeah. And you can earn like points and stuff to buy different skins, but you don't have to you don't have to pay real money to become better. You just play the game to get better. Yep. So
there's character unlocks. The new character is going to have to be unlocked and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you like the game enough, you'll play enough to unlock the characters.
Yeah. Yeah, you're good. See you later.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I got to bounce.
Yep.
It's been fun. See you, sir.
See ya.
So, Seis Manos. Yeah. Tell me about that.
Super excited about this one. It seems to be an original IP. I tried seeing if I could find anything because it debuted a trailer or information on Comic-Con, but it doesn't seem to be based off of a previous existing IP. It's created by Alvaro Rodriguez and Brad Graybeer, and it's a Netflix animation that's coming October 3rd, 8-episode season, and it's like a Mexican anime, and it takes place in a fictional town in the 1970s Mexico, San Simon, and it's based around three orphans that are trained in martial arts, and I'm not quite sure if they're like zombies or demons or what exactly is going on. But
from what I saw,
what these three orphans are facing is badass.
Yeah, they got like spikes coming out of their back and shit, and it seems more like a parasite / like hive mind type deal, where they're not like, it's not zombies where you just get bit and now you're a zombie. It's like it seems like they were connected in some way, and when one of them like died, another one goes crazy. So they're like, I feel like there's some sort of weird like parasitic element to this. Right. So I'm gonna have to give it a watch, but yeah,
and again, much like Suicide Squad, there's a lot of names that I'm not super familiar with, but it's got Danny Trejo and Mike Coulter involved.
Oh, yeah. Of course, Danny Trejo.
It looks so cool, though. Like, the animation is super clean.
It looks a lot like Boondocks in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the flow of the action.
The flow of the fights, yeah, it looked a lot. It reminded me a lot of the Boondocks, and like whenever they had their fight scenes.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, that which I just saw the other day that the Boondocks is getting greenlit for 2 seasons on HBO. So
Hell, see
that will be fucking dope. But yeah, that looks sweet. And that's on Netflix.
Yep, Netflix October 3rd, so right around the corner.
Oh shit, that is right around the corner. Damn.
And I believe all 8 episodes dropping at once.
It's already October, people.
Yeah,
Get your Halloween costumes in the closet right now. I actually was at the Mall of America the other day, and they, you know where the Best Buy was? Upstairs?
I believe so.
It's now just a giant Halloween store.
Hell yeah.
They have everything there that you can want for Halloween. So,
Love this time of year.
Resistance. Yeah.
Yeah, and this kind of came out of nowhere considering how quickly it's coming out. Because we just got a teaser trailer the other day about it.
Yeah. Is this PlayStation exclusive?
No. So
No, it
Terminator
is.
Resistance first-person shooter. It's coming out October 3rd not October, December 3rd in the States.
December 3rd. Okay.
And it's coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
So everything. Nice.
Except Nintendo.
Except Switch, because they can't put that on Nintendo for kid reasons.
M-rated content.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is set in 2028 LA, and it's the dystopian Terminator future, but it's a prequel to the Terminator story that we know. So this takes place before Terminator 1 and 2. From what we've heard, has no tie-in to Terminator Dark Fate. Your main character is Jacob Rivers, and he's a member of the John Connor Resistance against Skynet
Force. Yeah.
From
what I saw, it looks pretty true to like the aesthetic.
Oh yeah, it definitely feels like post-apocalyptic Terminator.
Yeah.
Future.
Yeah.
The coolest thing that I found out doing my research about this is there's going to be multiple game endings depending on how you play the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I'm not sure, how many or what is going to be the cause and effect of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, we expected a very linear story with this. But
yeah.
Apparently, this linear story is going to have different outcomes.
Okay.
Which is intriguing, right?
That is very intriguing. Yeah, it looked super linear from the trailer, where it's just like walking you through the map. Oh my God, there's a ship. And not very like open world friendly. So the fact that there's like almost a choose your own adventure element in a way.
Cool wrinkle.
Yeah. Interesting. I wonder if they'll fuck around with the time travel in that like it's your job to either send the Terminator back in time or you have to choose to send Kyle Reese back in time.
Right. Yeah,
that would be interesting.
When you throw time travel in, there could be any number of outcomes.
Yeah.
Especially when it's a resistance going up against an AI empire.
Exactly.
Again, there could be many A to B outcomes.
Yeah. That you could, take a hold of. One thing I did notice though in the trailer is that the sounds for the guns were a lot of the same.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, and like the type of gun would change, but the sound would remain the same, which I'm an audiophile, so like I'm a drummer. I hear things before I see them. And that's one thing that I hope they don't do that in the final game, where it's like every gun that you pick up is the same noise.
Mm-hmm.
That'll just like
cheapens it a little bit.
It throws me off a bit. Yeah, I mean, it looks aesthetically like gorgeous because it's running on like Unreal Engine 4 fucking 5,000 whatever. So yeah, no, it looks good. I'm excited for it. I'm wondering what that choose your own adventure thing is though. So
we'll have to wait long. Like I said,
December
3rd in
December
the
3rd.
States, earlier in UK and Australia.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So that'd be fun.
I wonder if they're gonna make any like tweaks or DLC or anything like that, depending on how Dark Fate is
They
received.
probably will, yeah, in some way, shape, or form. I know they just introduced Sarah Connor into Gears, so as a playable character.
Nice.
Yeah, so we'll see. But I'm excited for it. I've always been a fan of Terminator, Skynet, nuclear apocalypse scenarios, and I've always wanted like a video game of it, and I know that like they're gonna stay true to the story because they have to. You know,
I like that they're not putting you in the boots of John Connor or Kyle Reese.
Kyle Reese, yeah,
Right. It's nice being your own character.
Your own new character. Yeah, I agree. But I need to take a piss so we can wrap this up. Because we are at an hour and 20, so that should be fine. Yeah. All right, everybody. If you like this kind of content, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And like that video below and hit that bell so you get notification next time we upload another podcast. So I'm John Tubbs.
I'm Keegan Lagerwell.
And thanks for stopping by. We'll catch you in the next one.
See ya.
See ya.